10th day of the 4th special session of the 20th Congress will now come to order. May we all rise for a moment of silent prayer. Chief Clerk, roll call.
Senator Alick, Senator Aritos, Senator Figuer, Senator Coolant, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Kunman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Ned, Senator Panuelo, Senator Perman, Senator Romlo, Senator Usmal, Senator Welly, Speaker Simina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 12 members are present.
We have quorum. Next item, reading of the journal. Floor Leader Harper.
Move to dispense with the reading of the journal.
It's moved and seconded that we dispense with the reading of the journal. Those in favor say yes, opposed no. Motion carried. We now dispense with the reading of the journal. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Item 5, Presidential Communications. There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Continue.
Item 6, FSM Supreme Court Communications. None. Item 7, Member Communications. Also none. Item 8, Departmental Communication. We have one communication from the Secretary of Finance, number 20-55. Item 9, Agency or Governmental Authority Communications, there are none, Mr. Speaker. Item 10, State Communications, none. Item 11, State Supreme Court Communications, none, Mr. Speaker. Item 12, Municipal or Town Communications, none. Item 13, Foreign Government Communications, there are none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, order of the day. Item 14, standing committee reports.
Yeah, beg your pardon, Mr. Speaker. We do not have any awaiting list. Please disregard this one.
Okay, disregard the awaiting list as stated on the order. Next item.
Item 15, Special Committee Reports. There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 16, Assignment of Measures and Communications. We have a referral sheet, number 20-72.
Okay, Chairman and members, take note for your planning purposes. Next item.
Item 17, Unfinished Business. None, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, item 18, bill calendar, first bill. Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we have CP number 20-137, which is attached to Standing Committee Report number 20-67, and pardon for the oversight. For first reading, CB number 20-137. It's a bill for an act to amend Section 221 of Title 54 of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia as annotated, as amended to increase the import duties levied on used vehicles and for other purposes.
Chairman Figuer.
Move for the passage of the said bill on first reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 20-137. Discussion.
Short recess.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Chairman Figuer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and because of the understanding reached in the committee, I move to defer this bill to the next regular session of Congress.
It's moved and seconded that said bill 20-137 be deferred to the next regular session of Congress. Those in favor say yes. Opposed no. Motion carried. Said bill is now deferred to the next regular session of Congress. Next bill.
Short recess, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Chief Clerk, next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CP number 20-198, CD1, for first reading from your Committee on Ways and Means. CP number 20-198, CD1. It's a bill for an act to further amend Title 55 of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia as annotated and as amended by adding a new section 1222 for the purpose of requiring 20% of all national government fishing fees collected in a fiscal year to be deposited into the FSM Trust Fund, and to add a new section 324 of Title 54 of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia as annotated, as amended, for the purpose of requiring 100% of the tax on all premiums collected from captive insurance companies in a fiscal year to be deposited into the FSM Trust Fund and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Congress pass Congress Bill CV number 20-198.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 20-198, CD1. Discussion.
Short recess, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still on discussion of CP 20-198, CD1. Chairman Figueroa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I have an oral amendment that I wish to offer. May I offer?
Proceed.
On Congress Bill number 20-198, CD1 is hereby amended to read as follows. Item 1, page 1, title, line 3, delete, in quote, 20% and insert 10% in lieu thereof. Item 2, page 1, title, lines 9 through 10, delete 100% and insert 50% in lieu thereof. Page 1, line 5, delete 20% and insert 10% in lieu thereof. Item 4, page 4, line 9, delete 100% and insert 50% in lieu thereof. I so move.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments by Chairman Figueroa to CP 20-198, CD1 be adopted. Any relevant rules that might impede our actions are suspended. Any discussion?
Speaker.
Yes, for Leader Herbert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So with all the changes in percentage, how much money will be investing in the trust fund by 2023 or 2024?
Chairman Figueroa.
I think, and I haven't really, I haven't done the math by myself or asked the staff to do it, but I think it will get us closer to the goal. Had we gone 100%, and if we're lucky to get that much money, we will hit the jackpot. So, but I think there are other ways in feeding into the trust fund, in investing into the trust fund to, if not get to reach the goal, but close to it. But I think this is the safest way, and the committee discussed thoroughly this morning, and we thought we should go down a little bit to allow us some flexibility in revenue that is not perhaps seen now, but it may happen. So this is just a way to see if we can increase the value of our trust fund and see what will happen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As someone
Yes.
said, a piece of cake is better than nothing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Floor Leader Harbour. Any other discussion on the proposed oral amendments? Any discussion? If none, Vice Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you, members, and those observing. I just wanted to, morning, Chairman. I just wanted to raise my own concern on the proposed amendment because I am in full support of the bill as is in its original form. I know that discussions were made during previous sessions with regards to the need for public projects and their contributions to the economic development of the FSM. And I did visit Finance yesterday to gather information on what we have at our disposal in terms of financial resources for projects. And it's way over 200 million that we have available. And that dwarfs the amount that we have for public projects. So I think if we stick with the original bill, we will benefit more from that. However, the focus of the government in terms of projects to be implemented and then foster economic development can be sourced elsewhere than the local revenue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Vice Speaker Moses. That's a very legitimate statement regarding that we have over 200 million still sitting in infrastructure funds that need to be injected into the economy, and it's not the fault of Congress. It's just money that's been sitting because of all kinds of. But with that money, if it's getting to be injected into the economy, it could do a lot in terms of the growth of our economy. But that's up to us. Okay.
Speaker. Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker is subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still in discussion of the offered oral amendments. Any further discussion? If none, if there's no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the offered oral amendments to CP 20-198 CD1, say yes. Votes no. Motion carried. Said offered oral amendments to 20-198 CD1 are adopted by Congress. We now have CD2. Any further discussion on the bill CD2? Questions being called for? There is no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of members. Chief Clerk.
Senator Alec, Senator Aritos, Senator Figuer, Senator Coolant,
Yes.
Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses, Vice Speaker, Senator Ned, Senator Panuelo, Senator Perman,
Amen.
Senator Romulo, Senator Ursmal, Senator Wally, Speaker Semina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 11 members voted for.
For that reason, CB 20-198 CD2 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-213 for second reading. CB number 20-213. It's a bill for an act to appropriate the sum of $2.8 million from the General Fund of the Federated States of Micronesia for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2018, for the purpose of funding public projects and social programs for the people of Yap, Pushai, Pohnpei, and Chuk states, and for other purposes.
So, recess, Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress back in session. Chairman Figuer.
I yield to Chairman Gula.
Chairman Cullen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for passage on the second and final reading on the bill, said bill.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CB number 20-213. Discussion.
Speaker, I have a small amendment.
Chairman Willie, you go first, then we'll entertain next.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a floor amendment that I wish to offer on my behalf and on everybody's behalf also, because their amendments are attached to my amendment. Copies have been duplicated and circulated in yesterday's package. It's quite lengthy, and I will not ask Chief Clerk to read, but rather move for adoption of the said amendment.
It's moved and seconded that the offered floor amendments to CB 20-213 by Chairman Willie be adopted. Because of its length, we will dispense with its reading. Any discussion?
Speaker,
For Leader Harbert.
yeah, just to safeguard we're not violating any of our rules, I move to suspend any rule that may impede our action on the said amendment.
It's moved and seconded that any and all relevant rules, specifically the rule prohibiting substantive amendments on second and final reading, be suspended. Those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Said rules are suspended at this point. So any discussion on the offered, Chairman Fakir?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have an oral amendment to the amendment offered by Chairman Willie.
Okay, proceed.
On page 2, line 25, insert designee and insert except that the allotee of funds appropriated under subsection 2H of this act shall be the President of the Federal States of Micronesia or his designee. I so move.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments by Chairman Fakir be adopted. Short recess. Congress is back in session. We're still on discussion of the offer for amendments to CB 20-213. Who goes first? Yap, they will go with the bill. So let's take Bombay. Koshai doesn't have any proposed. So Bombay?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have an oral amendment I wish to make on the said
Proceed.
floor amendment offered by Senator Welly. And it's on page 3, item 6, sub-item K, where it says purchase of choral material, 15,000. Delete the 15,000 and insert 10,000. On sub-item L, delete it in its entirety and insert ED3 Xavier students first year tuition 15,000. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments to the proposed floor amendment be adopted. Discussion on the offered oral amendments? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the offered oral amendment say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The offered oral amendments are adopted by Congress. We now have still the floor amendment as amended. Senator Net?
Thank you, Speaker. I have a minor amendment to the amendments. And if I may ask Chief Clerk to read it.
Chief Clerk, read those to the record.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, on Senator Wally's amendment, main amendment, on page 2, item 5, between sub-items J and K, delete election district number 2 participants. And then subsection K, should read as follows. Election District Number 2, boat and outboard motor purchase for search and rescue. You add in the for search and rescue.
Okay. You all get that? Make your motion for adoption.
So move, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments by Senator Net be adopted. Discussion? Any discussion? If there is no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the offered oral amendments by Senator Net to the offered four amendments by Chairman Wallace, say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The offered oral amendments are adopted. We now have, it's now amended twice. Okay, Chuk, you have any amendments? If none, okay, any further discussion on the offered floor amendments to CB 20-213 as amended twice? Any? If none, there is no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the offered floor amendments to CB 20-213 by Chairman Wale as amended twice, say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The offered floor amendments are as amended are adopted. We now have CT1. Any further discussion on the CT1? Chairman Figueroa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have an oral amendment to Congress Bill 20-13. May I offer the oral amendment?
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On Congress Bill number 20-13 is hereby amended to read as follows. Item 1, page 2, line 25, after the word designate in parentheses, insert except that the allotment of funds appropriated under subsection 2, insert in parentheses C and H of this act shall be the President of the Federal States of Micronesia or his designee. I so move.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments to CB 20-213 CT1 by Chairman Fakir be adopted. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the offered oral amendments by Chairman Fakir, say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The offered oral amendments to CB 20-213 CT1 by Chairman Fakir are adopted. We now have CT2. Okay, any further discussion on CT2? Any further discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chairman Berman will cast the vote for Pohnpei. Chief Clerk.
State of Chub, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Perman.
Hey.
State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yab, Chairman Ursmail. Mr. Speaker, all the four states voted for.
For that reason, CB number 20-213 CD2 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CP number 20-209 for second reading. CP number 20-209 is a bill for an act to repeal in their entirety public laws numbers 20-13 and 20-20 pertaining to the assets and liabilities of the open access entity, and to reinstate the previous language of sections 203 and 389 of Title 21 of the Code of the Federal States of Micronesia as annotated, as amended, and for other purposes.
Okay, Chairman Cullen.
Short recess, Speaker.
Short recess to call out the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still on the CB 20-209.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Cullen.
Move for passage of the second and final reading.
It's moved and seconded that we pass on second and final reading CB 20-209. Discussion. Any
Speaker.
discussion? Floor Leader Harper. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just a few minor questions just to make me understand what's going on. First, who's really recommending us to repeal this two public law? Is it World Bank or other agencies or the executive branch or Telecom?
As far as I understand, it is one of our agreed commitment under the arrangements that we have with World Bank, that we repeal this because they are inconsistent with the current arrangement between Telecom and the open access entity.
Okay, thank you, Speaker. And my last question, I don't think it's really relevant to this bill here, but just to further my understanding of the problem in Chuuk, will the repealing of these two public laws try to resolve the problem in Chuuk, or will it aggravate the problem there?
My understanding is that the problem in Chuuk is internal to our two entities, the FSM DCC and the FSM DC and our executive branch. Because, of the decision of the OAE to put the cable somewhere other than. So my understanding is that they are currently working on resolving that to move everything back to the FSM Telecom area. So that's this bill, if we pass it, has nothing to do, will not.
Mr. Speaker.
But,
Yes, Vice Speaker Moses?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I believe when Congress passed these two bills that were repealing, it was to address the issue of cooperation between the two entities that FSM owns, so that they could provide each other services free of charge. Now, since we passed the two bills, the two entities have signed together an agreement that takes care of this. And in one of the public hearings that we had with the Department of TCNI, it was in the list, it was in the checklist of things to do after they signed the IRU deed and they were meeting the requirements. And one of the recommendations was that we repeal these two bills so that it does not run into conflict with the IRU deed, which was the agreement signed together between the two entities. And if it may help on Chairman Urusmal's concern of insurance, it was another requirement that the OAE have funding available in case of a unforeseen issue that may arise with the cable from Guam to Yap. And they have since secured facilities that would ensure the availability of funds if needed by the open access entity to make repairs or address issues concerning the cable. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Vice Speaker Moses, for the explanation. Any further discussion? If none, if there is no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegation. Berman will cast the vote for Panvic. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Berman.
I'll yield the floor to Vice Speaker.
Vice Speaker Moses.
Yes.
State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Urusmal. Mr. Speaker, all the four states, 4-4.
For that reason, CP number 20-209 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CP number 20-216 for second reading. CP number 20-216 is a bill for an act to amend Public Law number 20-93 by amending Section 1 thereof to change the use of funds previously appropriated to fund priority infrastructure projects and public projects and social programs in the state of Kushai and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
Move for the passage of the said bill.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CB number 20-216. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Berman, we'll cast upon page vote.
State of Chuk, Chairman Oritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Perman.
Amen.
State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yab, Chairman Ursmal. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 4 states, 4-4.
The vote of yep is I think so. Okay. For that reason, CB number 20-216 has passed Congress second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CP number 20-217 for second reading. CP number 20-217. It's a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 20-53 as amended by Public Laws numbers 20-57, 20-61, 20-69, and 20-91 by amending Section 2 thereof to change the use of funds previously appropriated therein for the purpose of funding priority infrastructure projects and other projects and social programs in the state of Kushai and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
So move.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CB number 20-217. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Perman.
Amen.
State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. Mr. Speaker, 4 states, 4-4.
Okay, for that reason, CB 20-217 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
None, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker,
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still on the bill calendar.
Speaker,
Chairman Berman.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to make a motion to reconsider Congressional Bill 20-211.
It's moved and seconded that Congress reconsider its action on CB 20-211. It's not subject to debate. The vote is still 10. That's required. Roll call.
Senator Alick. Senator Aritos. Senator Figueroa. Okay. Senator Coland.
Yes.
Floor Leader Harper. Yeah, Senator Conman. Conman. Okay. Vice Speaker Moses. Senator Nath. Senator Panuelo. Senator Perman.
Amen.
Senator Romulo. Senator Ursmal. Senator Wali. Senator Wali. Speaker Semina.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just try to pass the
What is Chairman
reconciliation.
Revelo's vote again? I didn't hear.
NO.
Mr. Speaker, 8 members voted for, 4 against.
For that reason, reconsideration is not passed. So next bill. Short recess.
None, Mr. Speaker.
Congress back in session. Chairman Permit.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We're on resolution calendar right now. so-
Yes. Would like to make a motion to withdraw and place the following resolutions. That's 20-113, 20-114, 20-115, 20-116, and I believe Chairman Colin has one. May I? What was that? That's yours, one more friend? So move, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker,
It's moved.
may we have
Short
a
recess.
short recess?
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. There is a motion that was seconded to withdraw and place the following resolutions on the resolution calendar: 20-113, 20-114, 20-115, and 20-116. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Votes no. Motion carried. Those resolutions are now placed on the resolution calendar for action. Chief Clerk, first resolution.
Mr. Speaker, the first resolution is functional resolution number 20-113 for adoption. CR number 20-113 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $291,556 from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, to fund and support for the implementation of the FSM's CCC plan to reduce cancer burden in the FSM for the budget period from June 30, 2018 to June 29, 2019, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman Berman.
Speaker, I presume relevant rules are still suspended.
Yes, the relevant rules are still suspended. Okay. Chairman Berman, motion for adoption.
Yes, so move for its adoption, 20-113.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-113. Discussion. Any discussion? Questions been called for. If there is no objection, debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-113, say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Said resolution is now adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have functional resolution number 20-114 for adoption. CR number 20-114 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $1,156,180 from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, to support and fund the FSM immunization and vaccines for children program, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
So move for its
Chairman,
adoption.
Any seconds? Moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-114. Discussion. Short recess. Subject to call of the chair. Congress back in session. We're still on discussion of resolution 20-114. Any further discussion? If none, there's no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-114 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-114 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have functional resolution number 20-115 for adoption. CR number 20-115 is a resolution authorizing the president resubmit the nomination of Mr. Cholden J. Johnny Boy to serve as a member of the Office of the Telecommunication Regulation Authority of the Federated States of Micronesia.
Chairman Nawale, I'm sorry, TNC, Chairman Cullen.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Move for adoption of said resolution.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-115.
Speaker,
Discussion, Chairman, Floor Leader Harbert.
yeah, I just want to ask Chairman Colon if he has already consulted Chairman Willie on this resolution.
Well, Chairman Cullen.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, already done. Done deal.
Okay, thank you for that. Chairman Fakir?
I just want to raise my concern, because if I support this resolution, my constituents going to say, why you sit there and not making up your mind? If already the Congress has spoken, yet you want to reconsider, although it's allowed under our rule, but when I supported the nominee and others didn't want to support it, the nominee defeated twice, I think that's the end. Unless someone can tell me that new information just surfaced, so I can use it to justify changing my mind.
Thank you, Chairman Fakir. We are compassionate people. We serve our people, and we do have a change of heart from time to time. So I suppose that's the purpose of this, to make you go back and rethink your no vote. So, be it. Okay. Any further discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed, so let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of said resolution, say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-115 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have Commissioner Resolution number 20-116 for adoption. CR number 20-116 is a resolution expressing the sincere condolences and sadness to the family of the late Dr. Alexander Panuelo at his passing on June 28, 2018.
Okay, Chairman, Floor Leader Harbert.
Move for adoption of the said resolution.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-116. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Back in session, we're still on discussion of resolution 20-116. Any discussion? If none, there's no debate, then it is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-116, say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-116 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
None, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Speaker.
Yes, Chairman Permit? You have the floor.
Yes, Speaker, I apologize. I overlooked two resolutions. I'll do a motion to withdraw and place them, and
Proceed.
that's motion to withdraw and place 20-110 and 20-111. So move, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that resolutions 20-110 and 111 be withdrawn and placed on the resolution calendar for action. The relevant rules are still suspended at this point. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress back in session. Chief Clerk? Okay, let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the motion to place, to withdraw and place resolutions 110 and 111, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Said resolutions are now placed on the resolution calendar for action. Chairman, Chief Clerk, first resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have Functional Resolution number 20-110 for adoption. CR number 20-110 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $250,000 from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families to fund and support the Personal Responsibility Education Program in the FSM for the fiscal year 2018, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman Berman.
So move for its adoption.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-110. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, if there is no objection, debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-110, say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Said resolution is adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have Functional Resolution number 20-111 for adoption. CR number 20-111 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant from the United Nations Children's Fund, or UNICEF, in the amount of $673,037 to fund the implementation of the Federated States of Micronesia UNICEF Program of Cooperation 2018 to 2022 and 2018 to 2019 World Work Plan, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman Berman.
So move for its adoption.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-111. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, there is no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-111, say yes. Opposed? No. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-111 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Mr. Clerk.
There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, short recess. Congress back in session. Chief Clerk, next item.
Item 20, Introduction of Bills and Resolutions.
If you have any measure to introduce, please pass them on to Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item 21, Miscellaneous Communications. There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, next item, miscellaneous business. Do you have any miscellaneous business? Chairman Ursula.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I just wish to take this opportunity to express to all the Americans who are working for Congress and all of those residing in the FSM, our congratulations to them and to the government of the United States on this special day today, Independence Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Ursula. Indeed, Congress joins you in congratulating all of our American friends, American workers, and the United States government on the occasion of the celebration of their independence, July 4th. Okay? Yes?
Speaker,
Yes, Florida Harbor?
thank you, Mr. Speaker. I like to follow suit of my brother to take this opportunity also to express on behalf of all the presiders our sincere thanks and gratitude to all our staffs and all honorable members who have put in hard work and effort into this special session, which has become a successful one. And I hope our staff will continue to do the same in the future session of this Congress. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Florida Harbor, for expressing our usual gratitude to our staff and members. Any other miscellaneous business? If none, Vice Speaker, you have any miscellaneous business? Okay, just to follow suit with Florida Harbor, personally, I really would like to thank all of you for making this special session a very successful one. And I would like to again thank all the chairmen for their works on the budget. As you know, I pointed out during our opening that this should be also continuation of our budget process, deliberations, and I appreciate the fact that I noticed that most of the committees have pretty much done with their hearings and the like. So thank you and congratulations. I hope our next session will come back and the budget will be pretty much done as early as possible. Okay. If no further business of Congress announcement, Chairman Wally,
Thank you, Speaker. No announcement.
Chairman Fakir,
So recess.
short recess. Congress is back in session. Chairman Fakir, any announcement? If none, Chairman Berman,
No announcement, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Romulo, Chairman Panuelo, Chairman Cronin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm sorry for members that we will do one more round for the Department of TNC at the hearing room at noon. And Mr. Speaker, I would like to request to you and all the presiding officers that my day is July 11, but I would like to advance if there is anything that your office can provide to the individual. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Cronin. Noted. We'll
Point
think
of-
about it.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
State your point.
Is the good chairman talking about noon Yap and Chuk time or Ponape and Kosrae?
Ask him.
Where you stay, that's where it's applied to. Thank you.
Well, according to my round thing here, it says 12:20.
So it's we're using maybe Truk time, Yap time. Okay, Chairman Ursumal, announcement.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I am very grateful for the 1 week recess for your Committee on Education. I am very relaxed. My blood pressure is perhaps even lower than it should be. And so I'm glad, and I think you should be congratulated, and especially Chairman of Ways and Means for maneuvering us through this 10-day session. Though we don't all go with all the things that we wanted accomplished, but halfway there, like Floor Leader said, a piece of cake is better than no cake at all. So your committee will start working next session of this Congress. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Ursumal, for the high note you've pointed out. Your committee will start working again. I'm beginning to get worried whether you want to just take vacation all the time. So thank you for that statement. Okay, Vice Speaker Moses, you have any announcement?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We were informed by the President this morning when he visited our campus here, or our side of the campus, that he would like to invite members of Congress to the Cliff Hotel. He will be, fish and pork will be served, and also sakao will start at 4:30. So that was his invitation to us this morning.
Thank you, Vice Speaker Moses. You know, we get to enjoy. We work too hard, so we need to relax as well. I mean, that makes you a healthy individual. So, yeah, let's all be there. Just enjoy the evening. Okay, Senator Ned, any announcement? Senator Coleman, announcement? Okay, make your usual motion for preparation of records and then your motion for adjournment Sinodine. Yeah. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that all the journal of our first day until the last day of this fourth session will be reviewed and be compiled by the appropriate staff and be approved by the appropriate presider. And furthermore, if I may not be out of order, I move that this fourth special session is now adjourned sine die.
Okay, let's take the first motion that the presiding officers and staff are authorized to work on the journals and record of Congress of this fourth special session and approved by the presiding officers. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. So be it. It's noted. And now we're to motion to adjourn sine die. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. May we all rise? I hereby declare the fourth special session of the 20th Congress adjourned sine die.